Hi, I'm BinaKhan. Check out how I make this fantastic sparkle happen on my eyes using the amazing Pat McGrath Divine Rose palette, and see how I create this dirty watermelon kind of lip. It's one of my faves. Sirjohn, who is Beyoncé's makeup artist amongst others, often talks about the Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream. He says he puts it on the eyelids to achieve that beautiful glow. So that gave me the idea of using it to moisten the eyelids so it'll grab a bunch of shimmer. So that is my technique that I'm going to use to create sort of festive holiday eyes. And I'm going to use the Divine Rose palette by Pat McGrath, which, as you can see, I've dug into quite a lot. And I'm going to create with this beautiful sparkle, maybe a bit of dusky rose, something that's a bit fun and festive and bright. Using an EcoTools blurring brush, I'm just going to pack this off-white color on my brow bone. I'm going to bring it down to my cheekbone too. You can see the crazy payoff with Pat McGrath colors. I always try and take the color I use on the brow bone and bring it just a little bit in your other highlight spots, so everything looks clean and bright and amalgamated well together. On the socket line, I'm going to use a softly rounded brush. What should I use? This is this is Beauty Creations, and this is just a little soft rounded brush, and I think I'm going to pick up maybe the dusky pink on the socket. Like a little goes a long way with Pat. I'm literally just going pat pat. Haha, no pun intended. I'm patting into Pat. Just to give myself a little drama and depth. You really don't need to work very hard. Pat's pigments are crazy. Now that you've popped in your depth, I'm just going to take that same blurring brush and just soften this. Just emptied it on the back of my hand, so I can soften the meeting points here. You can see beautiful depth without much effort, just comes. Now comes the fun part. I'm going to take a tiny dot of the Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream because it's very, very rich. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to spread it out on my hand so you can see just how rich it is. And I'm going to take a very little bit, just a dot, and press it on my eyelid. And with another finger, I'm going to spread it around. I'm going to make sure not to go into the crease. Okay, and now that I've done that, I'm going to wipe my fingers on a tissue. Now I'm not going to interfere with this just yet. Just going to make sure that it is well spread. And now I'm going to rub my clean finger I can't look down without creating a crease. I can't look at you without creating a crease. So I'm going to rub my finger into this so it coats my finger really well. Yes, and making sure there's no crease and that it's not too greasy. I'm going to press this amazing shimmer. Isn't that fantastic? You can see how fantastically metallic and gorgeous that is. Now I just want to show you, even without the 8-hour cream, it's still beautiful. But you can see that the 8-hour cream is giving it this unbelievable glow factor, wow factor. So there's your 8-hour cream. Just make sure to not get too much because you don't want greasiness and lines. Once your fingers are clean, dip into that amazing sparkle and just press to seal. She's not kidding around. She's not kidding around. Whenever I do a shimmer like that, I don't want to leave it just one tone. We want to give it some nuance, we want to give it some depth. So I'm just going to pick up now some of this brown color and let's give it a corner. Come into this colder bronzy color and a bit of the brown. And let's just create just slight corner. You just want a little depth to what you've done. Using that same bronze and brown, just going to give my under eye a little bit of oomph too. And now I think it's liner time. Okay, onto the lips now. I want to do something sort of flamingo colored. So I've picked up these two bourgeois colors, and since these are so bright and beautiful, and you can imagine the kind of flamingo color I want to create with this, I need a depth to it. So I'm going to take Lolita by Kat Von D and just give myself a little bit of backing. Onto my trusty Fizz Ball ring palette, I'm going to put some Lolita to give myself a little bit of a backing. I mean, of course, you could choose to go with something just brown like this, but I feel like this is so festive. It's nice to have something similarly festive on the lip to pair with this. I'm going to give this just a little bit more depth. So now you can see you've got this nice strong backing. It's time to bring in the bright pink, So Hap pink. Now on top of this, I'm going to put this Revlon Hyper Matte. Yeah, no, I love it. The child in me gets excited. Now you've got this rich brown orange coral sort of base. Now what you need is to bring the bright flamingo pink back. So these kinds of colors take some time to build and create what you want. I think that's quite a beautiful color. If you feel like this is still too strong for you, what you can simply do is to, in the middle now, add a little bit of peach. Okay, now I personally would now just wear this, but if this was looking too strong, too bright for somebody, like if you're uncomfortable, then very simply just pick up the same brown color you started with and just come into the edges. And make the flamingo a little less flamingo-y. By creating a brownie ombre. And I think the key to wearing a bright color like this is to make sure that the powder around your mouth is very well settled. So I would take a small brush and a good warm face powder. And just make sure that everything around your mouth is nice and clean. Kiss the brush a little. And into my cheek it goes. So this is the kind of fun, festive look you can bring to the party, whether it's a Zoom hangout session with your buddies, or it's your anniversary, or it's New Year's Eve. I feel like this kind of thing is just a little fun, a little playtime.